Good morning. Today we are correcting CO7. I can write a value as a fraction and decimal. So we are going back and forth between fractions and decimals. So let's look at the bottom of the first page. We have fractions. Remember, our magic denominator number is 100. So we have 0.12, 0.16, 0.30, 0.75, 0.45, 0.60, 0.82, and 0.44. Is there any one that you want me to go over how I got that decimal? I hear somebody say, wait, Claire, which one are you questioning? Does it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because if you ever see something that's not making sense, ask if you can't figure out why it's not making sense. Callie.
3/10. I forgot to times it by 10.
Oh. Yeah. So what did you put?
So I put 0.3 instead.
Okay, so here's the thing with that one. So if you put 0.3 for 3/10, do you think I would accept that as an answer on the test? Is 30/100ths the same value as 3/10? It actually is. So if it has the 10 on the bottom, you can put it as the number in the 10th place. So that is the one that we don't have to make go to 100. So I would accept that, Callie. But all the other ones, you can't do a 4 into the 10th place. It has to be the 10 going into the 10th place. So I would actually accept 0.3 on the test. Okay, but that's the only one we don't have to multiply into 100 because in our decimal places, we have a tenths place. So if our fraction is in the tenths, you can just put it right into that tenths place in the decimal. But all the other ones we have to put up to the 100th because there's no 50th decimal place. There's no 5th decimal place. The only one that works with is the 10th. All right, let's look at our second page. This time we were going from decimal to fraction. We had to go put it into the 100th because it gave us the fraction in the 100th place, so we put the 100th on the bottom. So and then we had to see if we could simplify. Remember that second step is simplify, simplify, simplify. So we have to make sure we simplify. So we have 87/100ths, 11/20ths, 21/50ths, 19/100ths, 1/5. This is another one that we didn't have to go to the 100ths. We could have said 2/10 instead of 20/100ths because we're simplifying it down. Both 20/100ths and 2/10 will simplify down to 1/5. So you had to make sure that you simplified. Then we have 1/50th, 4/25ths, and 3/4. Any questions on how I simplified any of these? Hannah?
The last one.
So we have 75/100ths. I can divide a 25 out of both 75 and 100. So 75 divided by 25 gives me that 3. 100 divided by 25 gives me the 4. So that was a big number we had to divide out. Usually we're not dividing out such big numbers, but 25 can come out of both of them. Did you have 75/100ths as your fraction, as what you left it as?
I somehow made that into 15/20. I don't know how I did that. But
so 75 divided by. Let me see. I'm blanking on what it would be. So I'm sorry, what fraction did you have?
15 20th.
Yeah, so if you divided a 5 out and you get 15/20ths, what can we divide out of 15/20ths? Remember, if in the ones place there's a 5 or a 0.
Five.
Yeah, we could divide it by another 5. So 15 divided by 5 is 3, 20 divided by 5 is 4.
Okay.
So you were on the right track, you just had to simplify a second time. Because you didn't find the biggest number to simplify, so you had to simplify multiple times. So you were close, but you always have to check when you simplify, can I go even smaller? Okay, so that was something to think about for that test next week. When we simplify, can I go smaller? Because sometimes we don't see that 25 right away, but you knew it was a 5. You could just divide another 5 out. Any other questions on the top? All right, let's look at the middle. All right, so 1/2 becomes 0.5 or 0.50. Either one, they are the same value. We could have said 1/10 is the same as, no, it's not wanting to do it, 5/10. 1/2 is the same as 5/10, which would be 0.5. Either one I would accept on the test. So if you go to the 10th place or you go to the 100th place, that's okay. A lot of times we can't go to the 10th place. So that's why I always say the magic number is 100. If you go to the 10th place when you're able to, that's acceptable. Then we have 0.95, 0.1 or 0.10, 0.60 or 0.6. Here we have, well, so we had decimals up top. Any questions on the decimals on top? Mena.
Wait, what was 1920?
0.95. Did I not say that? I'm sorry. So then now we have going to fractions. We have 59/100, H/25, 4/5. And remember, I said if we're going out to the 1,000th place, we need to put 1,000 on the bottom. So we simplify it to 111/200. Any questions on that row? Callie?
I thought I filled it in already, so I forgot to simplify.
Oh, yep. On the test, always tell yourself, simplify, simplify, simplify. So always double check that you've simplified. Marina? Test will be next week. So we will have a practice test on Monday, real test on Tuesday. So the practice test will give you an idea of what is on the test, and if you have any more studying you have to do. We will talk on Friday about making a help sheet and what that entails. We will be able to use help sheets on our tests. So we'll talk about that on Friday. All right, last row. We were going back and forth. We've got a decimal here, 491/1,000. Now we have our decimal, 0.88. 0.70 or 0.7, 0.20 or 0.2. Any questions on that row? Then we have our time for review. This will be on the test. So we need to remember, that's why we have these review sections to bring us back to some objectives we did a couple weeks ago. So -12 minus 10, remember on that number line, if we are at -12, if we're subtracting, we're going to the left. So we need to move over 10 places to the left. So our answer is -22. Then if we are at -5 and we add 16, adding goes to the right. So we end up with a +11. Subtract 7 minus 15, so we start at 7 on our number line. Subtracting, we go to the left on that number line and we end at -8. And -20 plus 12. We start at -20 and we add, we are going to the right. We will end up at -8. Ava.
So for the one that said 7 minus 15,
Mhm.
I think that I just forgot to, I put 8 on it, I just didn't do -8.
So here's the thing, on the test, there is a big difference on the number line from where 8 is and where -8 is. So those negative signs matter. It's super easy to make that mistake. I see students make it all the time. Okay, that's what I call one of those simple math mistakes. Always look at your number line. We're gonna make a help sheet with a number line on it that we can use. Double check, even if you're confident, you're like, I got it. I know how to do this, the adding and subtracting the negatives, got it. Double check because it's super easy to make simple mistakes. Callie.
I forgot to start it with negative.
Yep. And that's why I'm gonna want us to have that number line to refer to when we do this objective, so we don't make those simple mistakes. The last one, ordering decimals from least to greatest. 0.12, 0.294, 0.57, 0.6, because we are comparing in that tens place and we're putting them in order with the numbers that are in the tens place. Any questions on the ordering decimals? All right, if you are watching this at home, we hope you are well and we hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful day.